major theme about positive and negative.
Well, I think this whole part about the inner subjective reality, or the reality of the psyche, just means that your inner subjective experiences are just as real as the outer experiences that you have. And I think that's the way that many people connect with Jung, is through reading about an inner experience that Jung had or Jung describes, and then you put your finger on it and say, well, you know, I've had an experience like that too. At least that was my experience.
Right.
That's how I started. When I first read Jung's autobiography, I read about these experiences, inner experiences that a person had, that I wasn't sure other people ever even had those experiences. And so, lo and behold, come to find out, the most intensely personal and subjective can sometimes be also the most universally human experience.
Yes.
So, it's on the inside.
Your inner experience is equal, if not more important.
Except that we live in a culture that values outer authority more than inner authority,
right.
So that people find it difficult to really make claims based on some kind of inner authority, whether it's a gut feeling that you have, or whether it's a dream that you have, or whether it's something that's intensely meaningful to you. This whole outer and inner problem gets really complicated.
Yes, it does.
But I think part of what happens with maturity, or part of being mature, is more and more that inner voice becomes something that you listen to.
The ego, therefore, is the internal I or me, which organizes perceptions from the external and internal worlds. And
right.
Steve, would you like to add?
The personality needs a way to mediate this experience of inner and outer, like we were talking about just a minute ago. And it's not actually an easy thing. It's a very difficult thing, because, sort of as you just talked about, all of these experiences are coming from the outer world, and all of these impressions and reactions and things are coming from the inner world, and here's the poor ego kind of sandwiched in between the inner and outer world, and trying to find some way to mediate or be conscious, to be aware of that experience. So the ego is the part of us that is able to be aware and conscious of something. By definition, if you know it, if you're aware of experiencing it, then you're having an ego experience, as opposed to other kinds of experiences.
Yeah, and that gets as simple as I'm hungry, I'm hungry, and that's an inner experience.
But hunger starts right as an instinct.
That's right.
As a physical sensation. And you know, there are people who are not aware that they're hungry at all. Or even when you're doing something and you're really busy during the day or like that, your ego is not aware that you're hungry.
Right.
It only comes later.
Right.
See what I mean?
Or you have the feeling you have to go to the bathroom, or you have a bad emotion, like you're scared.
Or feelings. Right. There are people who, well, all of us at some time or another are absolutely unaware of what we're feeling in a given situation.
Right.
That's because it's not connected to the ego. And then we'll go home, and 3 or 4 hours later, all of a sudden, we'll realize, hey, I'm angry about that.
Right.
Now it's just hit the ego.
Yes.
Now it's just come into consciousness.
Right.